Who you partner with is a representation of your morals, of what you allow, of what you support, of what you do not support. Who you partner with. So we're going to get into this picture in a hot second, but I just need to bring it back for a couple of people that might not know what is going on. If you have not been watching Love Island, literally more than okay. There's a couple of things within the absolute mayhem that has ensued after the season has come up, but I really want to talk about a couple of things regarding this man. Everyone that's ever been traumatized by a Leo man, you know this man. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it all pretty much stems from this podcast. Did I watch this video? No, that's too many men with a microphone. Arguably 3 too many men speaking into a microphone. But I've seen a couple of clips, and honestly, it's all that I really need to see. Will I be sharing those clips here? No, you don't need to be listening to men speaking into microphones. But I will share that within this interview, Ace, who was one of the contestants of Love Island, he left the villa with Chelley before the final 4, right? So this is the first, I guess, interview that he's ever done with somebody. Shayna, stay focused. Sorry, a lot of rage just flooded my body. So this was the first interview that he did after the villa. And within this interview, he basically said that Nick and Alandria, somebody who he has consistently spotlighted as a friend, somebody that he has been trying actively to align himself with, because he saw how popular Nick and Alandria, who are now dating each other, are outside of the villa. He's been saying, oh, well, he's not really a friend, and I don't even really believe if he is I don't believe that they're actually a couple. There's a lot of social politics that goes into this. Now, did he actually say that I don't believe that they're a couple? No. But as somebody that consistently talks about standing on business, when you were directly asked this question and you intentionally did not respond, your silence spoke volumes. Whatever standing on business was, speak with your chest. So for those of you who don't know, this is Nick and Alandria. Alandria, gorgeous, dark-skinned woman who has really become the darling of this season of Love Island and has received an insane amount of hate because of who she is, because she is a gorgeous, brilliant, loving, caring Black woman who is not afraid to stand up for herself. Let me be even more specific. Dark-skinned Black woman who is not afraid to stand up for herself. And because she is dating somebody, let me emphasize, dating. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, they're not a partner. I don't know if I believe them. These are the only 2 people within this entire villa that have actually been dating each other. They left the villa. They're like, you know what? We're not going to put a label on this. We're just going to continue to get to know each other. And I might have to make a separate video about this because I talked about this a little bit on TikTok, and the response has been overwhelming that I don't think people remember what it is to date somebody. You don't automatically have to jump into a relationship with somebody because they say they like you or because you're on TV. This idea of getting to know somebody before attaching any kind of responsibilities which come with titles to them is, I think, a lost art. But that is a conversation for another day. Why? Because this is not a conversation about the men. This is a conversation about the women. More specifically, this is a conversation about who you partner with will have a direct impact on you in so many ways, as Chelley is experiencing. So within this podcast, or at least the clips of the podcast that I've seen, Ace talks about how he didn't want to say anything because he didn't want this to blow back on Alandria, and then just continues to berate the relationship that she is growing into with this man, right? So what he knows, because it has been shown with Chelley, is that whenever anybody talks negatively about the men in their lives, it always falls back on the women, especially the dark-skinned Black women. So in him bashing Nick, and Nick has been very PR, as people call it, quote unquote, in the way that he has been navigating different interviews. Why? Because he knows that if he says something too incendiary, it's not going to come back to him. It's going to land on Alandria. It's going to land on his partner. He does not care because now Chelley is getting put through the ringer. But also, Chelley has not said anything to stand up for her friend's defense. Let me be even more specific. As of today, August 29th, 2025, she has not said anything to stand up for her friend. So there's been a number of things that have come up because of this interview, but I'm going to focus on the stuff that has directly impacted Chelley. So within that feature that they have with Essence, we're just going to focus on right here, captured before recent developments. The way that the social media team was scrambling, because clearly there were obligations, there were contracts that were signed, there was photo shoots that were had, editors, writers, interview, like everything. Look at all these people that were hired for the sake of highlighting this Black couple that everybody was rallying behind, all for them, all for, not, let me just not say them, all for Ace to open his mouth and not only put another Black woman that he says is a quote unquote friend back into the line of fire, but also he's now opened up a whole other can of worms, which could potentially lead to legal issues. I don't know if he has the money to go up against Peacock, because a lot of the other things that he has been saying, mind you, once again, I just saw clips, but sometimes all you need, you don't need to watch over an hour of booga activities to see, oh, I think he's talking about breach of contract. Oh, I don't know if legally he's allowed to say that about Peacock and its producers. And then because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, this is all that is filled within the comment section. Not his televised ego tantrum messing up what would have been an exciting rollout for y'all just a few days ago. Yeah. And it literally just continues on. Let's just take a quick moment right up here. Captured before recent developments, aka we really don't want to post this shit. So, because Ace could not keep his jealousy monster on lock, he's put another Black woman in a line of fire. He has potentially created a whole other legal situation with Peacock. He has now put Chelley's name, dragging it through the mud. He has made an enemy out of Essence. They are going to be losing, they as a couple, unless Chelley is able to stand on her own and like separate herself from this as a couple. And arguably she's going to have to stand up for Alandria at some point, and not even like as a friend, because here's the thing at this point. I don't know how true their friendship actually is if she is partnered with somebody that would say all this, that would put on this facade for so long, that would partner with somebody, aka Taylor, to try and deceive her throughout the villa. And then you leave the villa and you see all of this stuff happening. Maybe you didn't know in the villa, but then afterwards, there's all this information. I genuinely do not know how close of friends they are in real life. And now the man that she is attached to is messing up her bag. Chelley is beautiful. She is she's clearly very intelligent. I am wondering if she's talking with her team right now to figure out what is the proper response to this, because she probably doesn't want to throw her man under the bus. And for those of you that are going to say, oh, well, Shayna, he's only 22. You know who else was 22? Cordell. And he acted like more of a grown man in front of 30-year-olds talking about relationships than anybody else that was like thrust in front of a podcast, that was thrust in front of a microphone within those interviews that he was doing. So let's not put the age thing in. This is a conversation about how the man that you choose can either uplift you, open up opportunities for you in their dating process. She said that she wanted to model. He put her onto the modeling gigs that he was working so that way she could also make a bag. She said she wanted to go to Europe. He brought her to Greece. They can uplift you, or they can be drilling holes in your bucket and you're wondering, oh my God, where's my water? Where's my blessings? I've been working so hard. And this is more than just Chelley and Alandria. We've seen this throughout the entire season, when it comes to Clark and Taylor. Clark was okay with Taylor being cruel to Alandria. as long as it didn't backfire on her. And now they're out of the villa, and we are seeing him being physically aggressive with her. We are seeing him threaten her in a way that's, to me, showing very much financial abuse. We are seeing so much mayhem that would have been directed at Alandria that arguably Clark was okay at, with droplets of it being thrown at Alandria. But now it's on her. Taylor is who he was in the beginning, and she was okay with that. Who you partner with shows what you are okay with. Now, obviously, when it comes to abusive relationships in general, this is not like, oh, okay, well, somebody is hitting me, thus I am okay with. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the overlap in this kind of behavior and how, for example, Taylor Swift, she just got engaged and she's just like, oh yes, I've been portraying as like, oh, well, I'm a liberal and yes, I'm a girl's girl and girl boss and yeah, women's empowerment. Meanwhile, the man that she is with is constantly sniffing the sweat off of Donald Trump and his goons. Thus, it can be concluded that she is okay living in intimate partnership with somebody that is sniffing the sweat off of Donald Trump and his goons. Will this backfire on her? I don't know. I kind of hope so. I've never really been a fan of hers. But when I say backfire, I really just mean the consequences of her actions. So for all of you out there, or if it's you or a niece or a friend or a whatever, please have this conversation with your circles. Because if you just want a man, if you just want to be partnered, if you just want a boyfriend, if you just want somebody to spend Valentine's Day with, if that's like, listen, if you know, how do I say this? How do I say this without hurting feelings? Wanting those things is fine. You cannot want those things more than you want respect, than you want. Who you partner with is political. Who you partner with is an external representation of what you stand for, of what is okay for you, of what you think you deserve. And who you partner with, especially if you are partnering with a man, will be the biggest liability that you can have. Chelley, who just had her birthday from when I am making this video, is now going to have to work double time for a thing that she didn't say, for a belief that she did not say, because the man that she is partnering with, that we have not heard a separation of, listen, those are his thoughts, I believe, because her man got on a podcast and said, you know what? And another thing with my 5'6" self. Let this be a cautionary tale. Let the story of Chelley be a cautionary tale. Because just let it be a cautionary tale.